boxing matches in there, just to shake things up. You know, let the crowd enjoy a little variety.
Let's put those towards the beginning, so when the people get started with fights, that they don't get interrupted.
Right.
That's how it is usually a lot of events we go to.
You can get away with it if you put it at the beginning, because once people start the MMA, they don't want to be interrupted by.
Unless you got a big name in there.
It just looks so slow afterwards.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And it's just so different and everything else.
It's different usually.
When people try to go back and forth in these events, and people are like, oh, here we go again. And you hear the whole crowd go down.
Of course.
Then here goes the excitement again, the MMA, and then they go back. Oh, here we go again. So get it over with at the beginning. That's my suggestion.
That's a warm-up.
Now, you brought a couple of guys who are going to be fighting in the event on May 9th. Who'd you bring with you here?
I brought with me Jason Skeleton. Yeah, Freddie Skeleton here. He's making his amateur. He'll be making his amateur debut at 155. He's going to be, I think, a force to reckon with in the future.
How long have you been training, Freddie, before we go on there?
I've been training for about 3 months.
Oh.
But I got 15 years of wrestling experience behind me.
That makes a big difference.
Yep. I've been doing it a long time, and I didn't even really want to.
Can you talk right into the microphone?
Yeah, I didn't even really want to get into it. You know, all my buddies thought I'd be good at it, and then my cousin introduced me to this guy, and he asked me to come down. I tried it out for a week, and they were like, "You got to stay in it." So I just stuck with it.
What's your wrestling background?
As far as what?
Did you wrestle high school?
Oh
college?
yeah. I've been wrestling since I was 5. I started off in Bethalto, and then I moved to Alton, and I was third in the state, first in my district. I was first in my district all 4 years of high school.
Now, how's the transition been for you going with the stand-up?
It's been a little complicated, only because us wrestlers hate to be on our back, and being, you know, in the MMA, you got to be comfortable on your back. And so, I mean, that was a big transition for me. And being close and being tight, most wrestlers want to be, you know, based up and stuff like that. It hasn't been too bad though. You show me something once, and I got it. You know, I'm on it.
Excellent. All right, James, who else do you have with us who's fighting that night?
We've also got Rick Dilly back here. Pop in and have a seat.
Absolutely. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Rick, welcome to the show. So this is also going to be your debut match, is that correct?
Yeah, officially debut in this. Definitely, I think along the same lines as Freddie, I wouldn't consider myself an amateur, just undiscovered at this point. Kind of same thing for this, you know, cage fighting specifically. I've been looking at like 4 months, you know, preparing for the cage. But, you know, I've been a black belt in Taekwondo for over a decade, so I've been in martial arts all my life. Did a little bit of Kempo, kickboxing, lots of teaching also. But
when did you make the transition to the ground? In the 90s, or was it just recently that?
I would say just within the last 6 months, I would even consider thinking about it. You know, that's going to be the major thing that I focus on moving forward too, is expanding on that. You know, with judo and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But definitely, I'm a striker at heart, so.
Interesting. So we'll see potentially some good kicks in your match. And
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know who you matched up against? Yeah.
Yeah. James Poole.
No, it's Demetrius Joyner, I believe.
I'm not sure.
You got a chance to talk some trash you want, so. Let's start some shit. Go do it now.
Maybe later on.
Sell the show, man. Sell the show.
This is definitely a good sportsman-like kind of thing. Now, when we get face-to-face in the cage shots, it's a different story. After the match, obviously all hugs and handshakes, but everybody's here to have fun. You know, everybody's got their own goals in mind. But yeah, unless it's somebody that I know personally that I won't hurt for a reason, I wouldn't want to be fighting them anyway. But yeah, it's the biggest thing for me that I can put out there and say is that the reason why I contacted James to do this was going through Taekwondo and going to the tournaments and having all the point sparring and the headgear, and it was just so limiting.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't tell you how many times I didn't get a trophy and I got disqualified for hitting too hard, you know, or blooding somebody's nose because you can't hit them in the face. You know, it's just, you feel like you got your hands tied behind your back. So for me, this is the first time that I can actually go in with little to no rules, quote unquote.
No
And,
reservations.
yeah, and see what I can actually do. So it's going to be fun to watch, hopefully.
Excellent. Well, we'll want you guys to come back on after you've had your first match and let us know how that feels,
We
you know,
gotta
what it was all
think
about.
positive. After their first win, come back.
Okay,
That's right.
First
after your
win.
first
Think
win,
positive. There you go.
come back. Any advice you can give them, Brian, in preparing for a first
Nah,
match?
just have fun. That's what it's all about. You know, that's why do it if you're not having fun. You know, win or lose, have fun. So, no, not really. That's about it. Just, I'd say for you, take them to the ground and you stand up. There you go. That's my advice. You know, take them to the ground. Take them to the ground and beat the hell out of them. You stand up and beat the hell out of them. There you go. That's my only advice. So, yeah.
Now, who's the matchmaker for this?
I am.
You are, okay. And where the most of the fighters